Hello, everybody. This is Erin Shea. I am the Senior Vice President of Career Services for ECA, but I am also a former Kaplan employee who is leading the integration of the former KHEC schools into ECA. So this brief session today is being conducted so that you can have a general idea of what the integration sequence of events are. So basically what's going to happen a bit during training week, over what we call cutover weekend, and for the first week that you are all Brightwood College. So at this point, your trainer should have handed out the item that you see on the screen right now, which is the general integration sequence of events. This is the item that I'm going to be walking through. There's also two other handouts. It's up to your trainer whether or not they want to hand those out at now or at the end of the session. So at any point, the trainer can pause this video if you have questions. They will most likely be able to answer them for you, and if they cannot, you can feel free to get in touch with me directly. And my email is erin.shea, so erin.shea @ecacolleges.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. So in the document that you have in front of you right now, it's the sequence of events, and here you can see that January 25th through January 28th is training week at your campuses. So depending on when you're watching this, you could be watching this before training week or at some point during. So please excuse the past or present tense that I might be speaking in as you go through this. So between now and January 27th, which is a Wednesday, you have to migrate your personal documents that are stored on your laptop or your desktop, or if you have any items on the H drive. You need to transfer those to your Office 365 OneDrive account at ECA. So if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, I'm going to display an email on my screen right now. You all would have received this email. It came from IT Services. People tend to reference it as the task 1, 2, 3 email. So in it, there are job aids and these links that you can see that will take you to everything. The item I'm talking about right now is task 1, which is to move those items on your desktop, your documents, your My Documents, or your H drive. If you do not do that, when your computer is re-imaged on the 28th or over the weekend, all of those items will be lost. So do make sure that you complete that by end of day on January 27th. All right, another item is that on Monday, January 25th, all of your students are going to be getting an email. That email is going to go to their Kaplan account and their personal account. And all it does is it explains that they're going to be getting an @brightwood.edu email account when the campus transitions on February 1st. It also includes a little bit of rah-rah messaging around how they'll get the whole Outlook or Microsoft suite. Additionally, on Monday, January 25th, you all will be getting or have received a email describing that your current @ecacolleges.com account will change to an @brightwood.edu account. There's nothing that you're going to have to do. It's just kind of an FYI that is going to be what's occurring. Okay, so then on January 27th, there is going to be an email that goes out to all of your students. It's actually going to be the campus president who sends this message. I will be providing them with a template, and the message is explaining that Kaplan Quad and eCollege are going to be down on Sunday. So that means they're going to be down on Sunday, January 31st. This is also reiterated in the blue posters that are around campus. The reason Quad is down is because we have to disconnect Kaplan Quad and put in the new ECA student portal. Because Quad is the way that students get to eCollege, that really means that eCollege is down too. But have no worries, nothing actually changes in eCollege. It's just that the conduit, which is the Quad, is down. By Monday, students will get information on how they log into their new student portal, and then when they go to eCollege, everything is still the same. So anyway, they're going to be getting that message from campus presidents on Wednesday the 27th. It's also on the posters. For anyone else watching this message, especially instructors, please remind your students of this. We don't want any students thinking they're going to be getting work done on January 31st when it will not be possible. Okay, so then the next item that's going to occur is that on Thursday, January 28th, at about 8:45 p.m. This is when Campus View is going to be down. It is going to be available the next day on Friday, but it's going to be in view-only mode. So any changes such as posting attendance or adding activities will not be captured after 8:45 p.m. on Thursday, January 28th. And the reason why is that we basically have to freeze it in time, and that is what we will migrate over into ECA Campus View. So then, as you can see here, on Friday, January 29th, the campus is only going to be open for a half day, and anything that you would normally enter into Campus View, you just have to notate it personally. Notate it manually on paper and enter it in on Monday in the new ECA Campus View instance, or through any of the portals that you may have been trained on during training week. So this is a good point to, on Wednesday or Thursday of training week, you might want to print, like if you're in admissions, you might want to print out some call lists, or you might, if you're in career services, some employee list or your rosters, so that you can manually write down things on Friday. So speaking of Friday, most campuses are just going to be open until 2 o'clock, and that's local time. And the reason for that is that the phone and the internet systems will be going down. The Sacramento campus is an exception because they have a lot of NCLEX testing that will be going on. But all other campuses will be closing at 2 o'clock on Friday. So there is a lot that happens between 2 o'clock on Friday and on January 31st. But that is all of the detail that the local techs and the IT team will be working on. But the things that are really of importance to you is, like I had mentioned on Sunday, January 31st, Kaplan Quad and eCollege are not available to you or to your students. Something that also happens on January 31st is that all of you, the faculty and staff, you're going to be getting an email on this day, and it's just going to be saying that you have been provisioned with an @brightwood.edu account. When you log into that, you'll see that all your messages that were both sent and received through your @ecacolleges.com account are still there. Essentially, that ecacolleges.com account just becomes the alias. But don't delete this email. This email has some good tips in it. It reminds you that you should put your out of office on your Kaplan account, and it also gives you a link to a signature generator. I am going to show you that signature generator right now. So you should be seeing this on my screen. The link is actually to the ECA SharePoint site in the marketing section. And when you come here on February 1st, your campus will be listed under the Brightwood colleges. For now, I can't actually select you because you haven't flipped yet, but you'll simply enter in your campus. You would put in your name, your title. I'll just put integration. Oops. You do have to make sure to enter in your account properly. I do not have a brightwood.edu account because I'm not a Brightwood school, but I will enter one anyway so you can see what this would look like. This is very simple. And then you will have to select if you want this environmental message. So I'll say yes, and then simply generate signature. So the reason I wanted to show you this is because it's really important when you are rebranded to make sure that all of your emails have this signature on it. And so that when you're sending messages to employers or to students, that is able to be reinforced, not only to your students and your colleagues, but out in the community. So you would simply then select the signature and then you paste it into your new Outlook account. So it's really quite simple. So I encourage you all to do that. The link for this is in that email that you will get on January the 31st. This email right here. All right, so now we get to February 1st, the big day. And this is the communication to students that they're going to receive around 5 to 6 a.m. on February 1st. This is what I refer to as the golden email. This email is so important because it contains really critical information so that students, one, can log into their new email account, but it also has the link to the new student portal. So in this email, just like when you all became ECA employees, you got a message saying, here's your username and your temporary password. And then you got to create your own password, your new password. Students will need to do that too. Without a username and password, they can't get into the student portal. So if you have a student on that Monday morning, or if their first day of class is Tuesday, and they can't get into the systems, you have to help them find this message. This message will be sent to 2 places. It's sent to their Kaplan account and to their personal email account. All right, so some people might say, well, now wait, how do they get into their Kaplan account now? They used to go to it through Quad. Well, that's where I have another item which your instructor may have handed out to you before this session, or they will give it to you at the end. There's this item, it's called the IT questions students may ask before or after cutover. This is essentially just a 2-pager. It has 14 questions. So I'm just going to scroll through this really quickly. This is something that I would call homework for you. So I would like you to take these 2 pages, make sure you read them before February 1st. If you read through these very simple questions and answers, you will be much better equipped to help your students on Monday morning. So basically, like what one of the concerns they'll have is they don't know how to get to their Kaplan email without going through the Quad. Really, it's Gmail. So we provide you with the link in this document. So there's all sorts of good stuff here on how to help you help your students. This is good for career services and admissions and student finance. We all know that our students pick the people that they want to go to for help, the ones that they're comfortable with. So I encourage everybody on the campus, faculty and staff, to read this. Okay, so back to the sequence of events. So it's February 1st now, and your campus is going to open as Brightwood, and all of the technology inside will be ECA. So this is the point when I like to remind everybody that although your campus will have been rebranded, it's going to start at most campuses around Thursday. During that training week, they will do the interior, and then they start moving to the exterior and doing the exterior signage, and it gets completed over the weekend. All of your campuses have a whole lot of purple inside. There will still be a whole lot of purple inside on February 1st. There could be some purple outside depending on your location. But anything that would have had the Kaplan logo on it, it will have either been removed or replaced with Brightwood. So I just like to say that because I don't want there to be any surprises when you walk in the classroom and there's still dark purple or light purple paint on it. The Brightwood blue was specifically selected because it matched with the purple quite well. Okay, so in addition to everything that everybody's going to be doing on February 1st to get accustomed to being this new brand and this new technology bundle, we really want to make sure to get communications out to externship sites and employers about the name change. So I will be providing a templated email. I'll send it to campus presidents, to academic deans, and directors of career development. But at your campus, you can decide who will be sending the communications to externship sites and employers. Again, this is a great way to send them to reinforce the brand, especially after you have changed your signature. You'll be sending an email from your @brightwood.edu account with the Brightwood logo on it. Okay, so the first week of your cutover is February 1st through February 5th. This is when there will be some IT questions or concerns. There are going to be some people who don't have access that need access to something. There are going to be times when someone can't quite remember how to do something in one of the portals or in SharePoint. So what we ask is that the first thing that you should do is filter all your questions to your direct manager. In many instances, your direct manager has already helped somebody overcome this particular hurdle or troubleshoot. So first go to your direct manager, which would be your campus president, academic dean, your department director. They also have a list of week 1 support. That list of people are people that we call hypercare. These are individuals who will drop what they're doing during this week, 2-1 through 2-5, to be able to help a campus that has recently cut over. So first order of business is to filter the questions to the direct manager. So if it's not something that the direct manager can fix, or that trainer or whomever was on the hypercare list can fix, it's likely just an IT issue. And that's when you would submit a sysaid ticket. So when your computers get re-imaged over the weekend, there's going to be an icon on all of the desktops, and it reads ECA Help Desk. You simply click that and you fill out a form. You could also send an email to helpdesk@brightwood.edu, but I don't encourage that you do that, because if you do that, it just goes into a large pool of tickets, and somebody has to physically read it and figure out who the right person is for it to go to. But if you were to click on that ECA Help Desk icon, what you would end up seeing is a page that looks like this. So what you would do is you would create a sysaid ticket, you submit that incident, and then the reason that this is good is because you select categories. So let's say that it is somebody who can't get access to one of the portals. You would select IT support, and then as you're here, you can scroll through and you can see the different categories that you might be having an issue with. So actually, I had selected IT support here. So let's change my reason and say that somebody doesn't have access to a library in SharePoint that they need. So then they can select SharePoint, and they're saying that their access is denied. So what happens here is that this ticket is automatically going to get filtered to the person who can give access to SharePoint. So that's why it's so much better than shooting an email over to just a general inbox. When you submit that ticket, you will immediately get a response with a ticket number. That ticket number is very important in the event that you're trying to follow up to see what's going on. Okay, so that is how you submit a ticket. So let's go back to the sequence of events. And by the way, when tickets are submitted during 2-1 through 2-5, there is basically a war room of people that are focused on any of the tickets that come from the campuses that have just recently cut over. So there's going to be, hyper care focus on any of those tickets. All right, so we're getting near to the end here. And what we've got is that from February 1st, the day you cut over, until March 1st, you have 30 days to migrate your emails, your contacts, and your calendar events, and anything that you have on Google Drive over to your Outlook or your Office 365 account. So you could start doing this now if you like, but I usually encourage people to do it right when they are cut over, because that's when they will no longer be using their Kaplan account. So they can basically take any of their sent or received messages and transfer them over. We will be sending you reminders on day 1 of your cutover, and then we'll have reminders about 28 days before the cutoff, 21 days, 14 days, 7 days, and 2 days. And in those reminders, there will always be links to the job aids that can help you do this. We will be sending those same reminders to students, because those students also have 30 days to transfer anything that they would like. So then the very last thing is that on March 1st, your Kaplan email and your Google Drive accounts are disabled. So that is the gist of this training video. Your instructor had handed out to you one item that I had already showed you, which is these frequently asked questions. This is something that I prescribe as homework to all of you. And then there's also another item, and that item is this right here. So there's a very simple one-pager at the front of this, and it's for students and what they should do if they're having issues with Student Portal, but then also what should happen if there's issues when they're in the classroom. This is also a very good item, especially for instructors, because instructors are the ones where students usually come to them if they can't get into the portal. So I would encourage you to read this too. And it's basically, the rest of it is just 3 pages of how to help students with their Student Portal. There's some very simple reasons why sometimes a student can't get in. For example, here they might need to just clear the browser history, or they have to ensure that a pop-up blocker is on, or it could just be a simple restart of a computer. But any issues that the students might be having with Portal, this particular document should help you answer it. And my final thing will be just a tip that has worked in some of the other cutovers at other campuses. And that's that what some instructors did is that for the first 5 to 10 minutes of that first class, they sat with students, they shared their screen, and they walked them through the Student Portal. Not only just walking them through the Student Portal, but also how to get into it to ensure that every student is, 1, knows what their username and password are, and then 2, can get to the portal and know how to navigate through it. All right, so that's all I really wanted to be able to go over with you guys today. I hope that you found the session to be helpful and that you have a better idea of what's going to be happening over the next few days. I have a lot of confidence in these schools in California and Las Vegas that you will have a very successful cutover. Regardless, though, I will wish you the best of luck and welcome to Brightwood College. Thank you, everybody.